we getting that summer weather now, man.
Yeah, we are. I mean, it was also like torrentially downpouring yesterday, but besides that, we getting that summer weather as Chris just alluded to.
Yeah,
feels good.
You know what that means? Everybody about to be outside. We're about to hear the screechings of ATVs up on Broad Street.
The typical Philadelphia summer.
Yep.
You love to see it.
Yep. And if you want to call to join the discussion, that number is 215-763-9596. I say we have a pretty good slate of stuff we want to talk about today. Yeah, we're going to be talking about the NBA draft, the winners and losers. Free agency officially starts in 2 days. Well, the legal tampering period, if I'm being politically correct.
Yep.
We're going to talk a little bit. We're going to talk a little Phillies also, and a bunch of other stuff. We're going to get into, and which also includes the NFL, the Deshaun Watson situation, because he did go to trial today. And at 6:30, we have an interview with bus driver for all four major Philadelphia sports teams for over 20 plus years, Al Norfleet, at 6:30. So tune in, buckle in. It's going to be a really good show. So NBA draft was last Thursday.
See,
minimum
yes in Spanish.
Yes, minimum trade actions actually occurred, but the teams that are staying the course in terms of just building through the draft.
I'm going to pull up the draft order while you're setting this up.
The teams that wanted to stay the course in terms of just building through the draft have done a really good job in getting their core guys in, along with their young guys. Teams like Detroit, who already has guys like Cade Cunningham, turned in a pretty good draft haul, also getting Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren. We saw Paolo. How do you pronounce?
Paolo Banchero.
Paolo Banchero going number 1 overall to the Orlando Magic. We saw Jabari Smith Jr. go to the Houston Rockets, which is probably going to be nothing but isolation basketball, taking turns of isolation basketball. And then Chet Holmgren went to the Oklahoma City Thunder to now form the new Slim Towers with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Josh Giddey, and
Alexei Polkashevich, a.k.a. Poku.
Yep. So
just want to start from the top and, kind of talk about the top 10 guys or just, whatever stands out.
Okay, let's do the easiest thing. Let's go about what stands out.
Okay, I mean, obviously, then you got to start number 1 pick. The Magic don't have the number 1 pick often, but for some reason, whenever they do, they normally nail it. Obviously, C-Web, and then you turn C-Web into Penny, which you nailed. Penny got hurt. Obviously, Shaq the year prior to that. Dwight Howard. And, now maybe in this case, Paolo Banchero. Who knows? Versatile playmaker. I like to call him grounded Blake Griffin. He obviously can't sky like young Blake can, but I think like the playmaking ability, jump shot, post moves, strength, control to his game reminds me a lot of young Blake. So I think putting him in that Magic lineup and then you have him and Franz together in the front court, I think is awesome. And then you could play Mo if you want to bring Mo Bamba back or Wendell Carter. And then the guards, you got Markelle and Cole. I think Cole and Markelle should start together. Then you maybe throw Jonathan Isaac in the middle, or you throw Banchero, Franz Wagner, and Bamba if you want to go big. They got a lot of pieces to play with now. So, and I know they're young, but I think Mosley's going to do his thing over there.
Or you could just do a whole small ball lineup and just run the front court, the power forward center combination with Paolo and Isaac whenever he comes back.
That's true, but the reason I'm not banking on Isaac, he's been hurt that long.
Yeah.
Like, I think I trust Fultz to be ready before the season before I trust Isaac. And Isaac really, truly got hurt in the bubble.
Yeah.
The first week of the bubble. So you're talking fall of 2019-20?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the same thing could be said about TJ Warren also. I really haven't heard that name since the bubble either.
Well, that wasn't due to injury. That was just due to the Pacers, like, making him obsolete.
I mean, well, he was also recovering from a foot injury, and now he says, like, I want to make sure that because he's a free agent within these next couple of days, he wants to be ready for, like, whatever new contract he's going to have, whether it's re-signing with the Pacers because they want a veteran presence, or if a contender who believes that, adding him in his potential 15 to 20 point game scoring will be able to like make the difference in terms of getting them over the hump.
So I'm intrigued by that. I like that pick. Obviously, you got to show love to the first overall pick. I think that sets the tone for the draft most years. Whether that guy's a bust or that guy's a Hall of Famer, it's like the first guy taken off the board. Chet Holmgren going to the Thunder. I think it stands out only because it's like a dub pick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Weird gangly guy, weird skill set. The Thunder are a weird team. Sam Presti's doing some weird things over there. It just fits, right?
Yeah.
And then with like Giddy and Shea, and I've never wanted a team to like become good as a unit more than this team. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not even counting Sixers units you cheered for, like those Andre lineups and stuff like that. But like, if we're talking about a weird team that you hope becomes something one day, wouldn't it be awesome if like there's a first round playoff series in the whatever their arena is called, the Oklahoma City Thunderdome is what I'm going to call it, is just rocking and Shea's hitting threes and Josh Giddey's dumping off the Chet Holmgren and Chet Holmgren's hitting trill threes and Pokashevich is coming in off the bench. Like, it would be awesome.
For the record, it's now called the Paycom Center.
The Paycom Center. That's hilarious. Shout out to Paycom. That's how I get paid from my other job. But yeah. So that pick and the irony of it, of like, oh yeah, of course the Thunder happen to get Chet Holmgren. But I also think it's gonna be awesome because I think there's so many lineups now you can run where you got Dort. I think your five best players are Giddey, Alexander, Holmgren, Dort, and then who's the fifth best guy on the Thunder? If you're Sam Presti or I'm blanking on who their coach is.
Mark Davinoff.
If you're Mark Davinoff, who's your fifth guy? Who are you running with?
I mean, Giddey, Shea, Lou,
yes,
and then the Slim Towers.
Starting Pokashevich.
Yes. You're not in the business of winning right now. I mean, none of those guys know how to win or is in a situation to win. So just play the five best young guys that you possibly have all together. Let them groom, because they're not going to because Chet Holmgren, I like the skill set, but he's got to put on a little bit.
He's going to get bodied the first year.
Yeah,
I know. He's going to be baby AD. It's just AD was a little lengthier and like slightly more athletic.
Yeah, a little more toned.
Exactly. So he could kind of. But like he's gonna get eaten alive by like Joe and like and Nico and people like that.
Yeah, I mean Karl Anthony Towns finally got somebody to body.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be bad. He's gonna dunk on him. I can't wait till it actually happens and we're sitting there like, wow, Karl Anthony Towns really dunked on Chet Holmgren. That's crazy.
Yeah. But as far as also the draft, the one pick that I really liked was
about to say Jabari to the Rockets.
Him too, but I'm gonna give a shout out to Ochai Agbaji from Kansas. Him getting drafted to the Cleveland Cavaliers, because I feel like that's an ideal fit, because now you have legitimate 3-point shooting in your lineup. The guy averaged nearly over 18 points a game, over nearly 40% from downtown, and he's the ideal three, and he was really good on defense, and the reason why Kansas won the title this year. So he's a guy that, if all intents and purposes you want to put him in your starting lineup, GD Dickersack could put this guy in your lineup.
Can we talk about what the Cavaliers are building, man?
Yeah.
It's like one of my favorite builds in the league. Like, it's really, really well done. Like, they got enough veterans around, but they also got these young guys growing. Okoro still has room to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Garland's going to get better. Sexton's going to get better. Jarrett Allen can still get better. You know what I'm saying? Like I just, oh man. And then like you said,
you still got Karis LeVert coming off the bench.
Still got Karis. You still have Karis LeVert because they signed him to an extension, didn't they?
And you got Cedi Osman still.
Dude, I'm telling you, the Cavs are coming, man. That's awesome.
Oh, they were a playing team. So like I feel like if this core stays healthy, they can definitely solidify a playoff spot instead of being in a play-in next year.
Exactly.
So
well, a pick that we kind of slightly skipped over, but I'm interested to see is Jabari to the Rockets, right?
Yes.
Obviously, leading up to the draft, we all saw every pundit in the world, every person with an ear to the streets was saying Magic are going Jabari first pick. Body, boom. About an hour beforehand, Woj with a Woj bomb says Paolo Banchero's in the mix, and the rest is history. The Thunder were locked in on Chet regardless. Weren't even willing to trade with the Magic if they thought the Magic wanted Chet. So that was a foregone conclusion, which left the Rockets with the three short guys that everybody talked about was Paolo, Chet, and Jabari. Mm-hmm. And they get Jabari, and honestly, he's probably the best fit for them. Mm-hmm. He's athletic. He can run with. I'm imagining a lineup with KP, Jalen Green, Jayshawn Tate, Kenyon Martin, and Jabari Smith. Like, am I crazy for that? Am I crazy?
I mean,
you're going to be small, but like
that's
even if it's 4 or 5 minutes.
I mean, real talk. I mean, that's pretty much an ideal lineup, like the 2016 Rockets, except for James Harden, you had Jalen Green. That's pretty much what it is. It's a small ball lineup, which everybody can run the floor. Everybody's small, but they're scrappy, and you're just going to shoot a lot of threes. Exactly.
And like, so for me, and don't sleep on this fact that I do not. What is Paul Silas's son's name? What is his name?
Steven Silas.
Steven Silas. Excuse me, sir. I forgot his name. Steven Silas. Those Rockets could score last year.
Yeah,
they could put up points.
They just had no defense.
So now you got Spurgeon. I forgot who they drafted this year besides Jabari because I feel like they got somebody later in the first or in the second.
I could just easily look that up. Oh, wait. They also got another guy I think I really like. Let's see. Oh, they got Tari Easton from LSU.
Exactly. Okay. Another blue chipper defensive guy.
Yeah, 6'8" from LSU, 6'8", can guard 2 through 4. 3-point shot.
What they're doing?
Yeah, 3-point shot needs some work, but he's shot around 35.
They got plenty of shooters down there, dude. Yeah. He can take his time. Trust me, Jalen Green can shoot enough for everybody. But the reason that I laugh at that is because like if he's a guy who he's going to score in volume like Devin Booker did for the first like 2 or 3, and then when he gets the chance to learn how to win, he'll be able to channel that. That's why I always say guys who are flamethrowers, they just got to learn to be able to channel it and then kind of like torch when they need to torch. Mm-hmm. And I'm just man, I think that's gonna be a top 5 offense next year. Yeah. I think it's gonna be awesome.
Okay, core wise, because I know this may be a little easier question for you because one's a playoff team and one isn't. Which core would you rather have right now, the Rockets or the Cavaliers?
The Rockets.
Really?
Because I think if you're asking me who's the highest ceiling player in everything that you just discussed, all those scores of those two teams, I would say it's Jalen Green. And then I'd say Garland. And then I'd say the rest of those guys are Rockets guys.
I think you're forgetting about a guy. You're forgetting about Evan Mobley, man. Unless you're not that high on Evan Mobley.
Okay, so the reason I love Evan Mobley, and I do think he can have a KG-like impact. I would just need to see him be able to score 23 to 25 a night. And obviously, he can impact winning without having to do that. But I think to be on that elite level to where I think Jalen Green has shown defensive chops. He's shown to be able to do that. But he can take over games. This dude is like, and I'm not even trying to like, his game, he got a little bit of young Kobe to him. And it sounds crazy, but just watch him work. He just has to get out of that gunner mentality, which is hard to get out of sometimes, especially when you're in a losing environment. But I think if Steven Silas can get them to win and get them, they had a 10-game losing streak and then won like 15 straight or something crazy like that.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Because guys like Evan Mobley, like he's 6'10", 7'3" wingspan, and I like the idea because know him down the line, like once he gets his body right, like a 23, 24, he's going to affect the games without not even having to score a single bucket. Like I feel like this is a guy that has potential NBA all defensive and NBA all team caliber stuff. I think at his peak, you're probably going to see like 21, 11 points, probably a steal and probably like 2 blocks.
I mean, what would be wrong with that?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I just feel like overall in terms of his size, what we already saw him impacted, because Cleveland was a non-factor in terms of just being a playoff team and a play-in. But when you just consider they just got Evan Mobley, they were in that play-in spot, and they took Brooklyn to the limit. So I feel like once he's able to, fully get his body right and JB Bickerstaff gets in his ear in terms of like, yo, this is what I need you to do, because he's a defensive minded coach. So like once he gets into his ear, tells him like, yeah, this is what I want you to do, this, that, and the third, and him being able to play off Garland, and you get the Sexton coming back, you drafted Abaji, you got Cedi Osman, you got Karis LeVert,
Still got a Coro.
yeah, you still got a Coro, Jared Allen. Like that's going to be a tough front court to score on.
No, they're
Like,
going to
off-
be defensively great.
Yeah,
Make sure, especially with everybody healthy.
yeah.
I think they're definitely going to be one of the teams in. Other standout picks. Let's see.
Oh yeah, the Mavericks are geniuses. You make the trade for Christian Wood. Granted, you lost your first round pick, but who cares about first round picks at this point? But you got a guy like Jaden Hardy with the 37th pick because the Kings drafted him. Then the pick got traded to Dallas,
Okay.
which he played for the G League Ignite. He's a really good scorer. I mean, the biggest thing that stood out to me was the shooting splits. They were really low, but I feel like you're going into an environment in which Luka Doncic is going to give you easy looks. So I feel like that's going to be a guy that's going to be able to come off the bench with Spencer Dinwiddie, and those guys are just going to feed off each other. And
No, 100%.
Yeah.
I can 100% see that. That was Detroit, man. Let's do it. Let's talk about Detroit.
oh man, not gonna lie, I might use Detroit next year. And
yeah. No, I was thinking the same thing. Man, Cade Cunningham was one of my favorite like mixtapes or highlight tapes to watch this year. His game's just so smooth. It's like it's weird because people like to say this is kind of crazy, but it's Luka-esque. In the realm of like how he can control the ball, he can get to his shot whatever he needs to, whether it's a step back. He's probably, I'm not gonna say a better finisher, but a more adept finisher, and he's got some more lift than Luka does as far as like finishing over people and things like that. And he can pass his behind off too. I think getting the clog of Jeremy Grant out of there is gonna free up some space. Now Sadiq Bey can start. Like Dwayne Casey's gonna have those dudes ready to play, and they played for Casey last year. Do not sleep on Detroit being a play-in team.
Yeah, and say what you want about Dwayne Casey. I mean, obviously the guy won Coach of the Year, got swept and got fired, but that's more so half of it's some of it's on him. But here's the thing: like the guy went to Toronto, brought up that team with Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan into a perennial playoff team. Just couldn't get him over the hump. But when you have a young core like this, you bring in Jaden Ivey, you got Durant, you got Sadiq Bey, Cade Cunningham is going to be your lead aficionado. So that's going to be a team that is definitely going to be a tough out within like 2 to 3 years. Like once all those guys get acquainted, because continuity matters in the NBA. So like once those guys understand and learn how to play with each other, because every single year you see the usual suspects are always there in terms of continuity. Why do you think the Warriors are so good? Because they keep their core three guys and they add accordingly in terms of who can play off of our big three in terms of making it make sense.
Exactly.
Yeah. Boston finally got over the hump, but you see all the continuity there. Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Peyton Pritchard, Grant Williams, Al Horford. Those guys have been playing together for years. Continuity matters. Same with the Bucks. Giannis, Chris Middleton playing together for years.
Rook at this point with them.
Brooke Lopez. And then you add in the Drew Holiday, which was kind of like the missing piece.
Yep.
Same with Miami. Miami's been together for years, and
Jimmy came in and seamlessly fit in.
Yeah, and they've been to the conference finals
2 out of the last
3 years, 1 NBA Finals appearance. Like that stuff, like continuity matters. Like it's not just much of like getting all the best stars. Like obviously that works on occasion, but continuity matters. You have to understand where this person is going to go. You have to understand like where are you going to be defensively, where are you going to be offensively, so we'll be able to get open. Where is the shot going to go, and just the overall trust factor. So that's why more often than not, the usual teams that are at the finish line are the teams that have been playing together for years. Let's see. Any other draft picks that you're a fan of?
Let me see.
Once again, you're listening to 98.5 WJYN, the Running Back Sports Show, Sports for the Culture. If you want to call to join the discussion, that number is 215-763-9596. In about 10 minutes, we got our call with Al Norfleet. Yeah, stay tuned, man. We're talking some NBA. So,
Christian Braun to the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets develop guys good. I think he's got great size. Obviously, a championship pedigree from Kansas. You know, Bill Self takes care of his guys. They know how to play basketball. And especially because if you think about it, not a lot of Kansas guys making the league. You got Wiggs. You obviously got JoJo. Kelly Oubre is kind of doing this thing. But there's not a lot of Kansas guys floating around. So I'm kind of, as we're treating for Ajagobi. I'm sorry. I don't want to butcher it. Ajobi, I also want to shout out Christian Braun too, and I think how that's going to be a good fit.
About you, yeah. I like
Patrick Baldwin's the worst too.
Perfect. I was also going to give a shout out to Miami. Also, Nikola Jokic to the Heat.
That's such a Heat pick.
Yeah, he's probably not gonna play this year, but like once he starts playing, it's gonna start making sense.
Exactly. Keegan Murray to the Kings. What do you think on that one?
I like Keegan Murray, but I just don't trust Sacramento.
The Blazers getting Shaedon Sharpe was awesome.
Yeah.
And I think Dame is going to be rewarded getting a little bit of help, a little bit of relief. A guy who kind of dropped a little
So
bit.
Dame, so would you play Shaedon Sharpe at the 2 or the 3?
Play him at the 2.
And it's come off the bench? Yeah. Okay. So those two, who will be your small forward?
Nasir Little, I guess.
Oh, Nasir Little, Jeremy Grant, Justin Nurkic.
Yeah. It's not a terrible lineup. They can actually defend. Norman Powell. Oh, no, Norman Powell.
No, Norman Powell's gone. He's with the Clippers.
So who'd they get back?
I forget. Just draft picks.
I'm going to look up the Blazers lineup.
Yeah, because remember, they traded him and Robert Covington at the trade deadline. Hmm. 6'5", 198. Yeah, gotta get his body right.
Oh, they have Eric Bledsoe. That's not. I mean, it sounds crazy, but it's not crazy. You got Justice Winslow on here.
It's just, oh man. Maybe I don't know. Winslow at the 3. I mean, regardless, I mean, the Blazers are going to be a lot more in depth defensively as opposed to years past.
Ooh, Josh Hart. I forgot about him too.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him also. Yeah, they're going to be a lot better defensively than like years past.
Exactly.
Which in the end, I kind of think was in a way to like help Dame. So, in conclusion, good draft. But anyway, we're not talking about the real. But anyway, let's talk about the real winners. Us trading Danny Green, number 23 pick for DeAnthony Melton. Congratulations, Sixers! You won draft night.
No, we didn't. We did what we should have did a year ago. I knew you was going to try to bring that up in a triumphant way. But no, seriously, getting DeAnthony Melton was awesome. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
A young guy who can shoot, who can get his own shot off the bounce. You can play him with Maxey. You can play him with Harden.
6'2", but a lot bigger for his frame than.
And also because I think I'm not sure if he's still on a rookie deal. He might be.
He got extended. He's making $8.5 million now.
So we just saved like $7 or so million. We probably still got to trade our mid-level exception. So
we still got to move some sort of salary if we want to get PJ. If the Sixers want to get PJ Tucker, though.
PJ Tucker, DeAnthony Melton, Maxey, Harden, Embiid,
Tobias.
You think Tobias is coming back?
No one's going to trade for that contract, man. Tobias is here to stay. Hey, listen, if we get the Tobias Harris from Hustle, I'm all for that.
Me too.
I mean, dog, like that man was cooking Bo Cruz, though.
So
I mean, they were cooking each other, but yeah.
So wait, what's the starting lineup at this point?
As of right now, in terms of the way the team is,
so let's say we get PJ somehow.
Okay. Harden, Maxey, Tucker, Harris, Embiid.
I kind of like that.
Yeah. Matt Batista will then move to the bench. It'll be Melton, Shake, Thibault, Niang, and Paul, and neither B-Ball Paul or Charles Bassey just fight each other out for the backup center spot.
Oh, that's terrible. We need a couple more pieces.
I'm honestly fine with that competition because in some way, somehow, you eventually have to develop some talent in house. We can't keep hiring these mercenaries.
No, I agree. Continuity and such that we were talking about, but just still, like, do you feel confident after just naming that bench?
I mean, the bench is eventually going to shrink. So if you have at least 3 playable guys off the bench,
you need another shooter too.
Yeah,
I think that's the one thing when you name the bench all everything aside is you need one more shooter. I would prefer like a wing shooter.
Okay, yeah,
like
I feel okay. Yeah, I definitely agree. Like we need like a 3 who's going to be like a young Trevor Ariza,
like a Robert Covington.
We're not getting Rocco back.
I know we're not getting Rocco, but I was being smart by saying like that's the exact type of player we need.
Or like a TJ Warren.
No, but I want someone who can defend. Melton can defend. Maxey can defend. Joe can defend. Toby can defend. Like we need people who can defend.
Harden's a willing defender. He's just not good at it. I mean, that entire starting 5 can get down on the defensive side of the ball. And I know, like, regardless of his age, PJ Tucker is willing to run back a transition. So
I want one of the Morris brothers. I'd prefer Marcus, but I think it's time. We need one of the Morris brothers. PJ Tucker or Marcus Morris on this team, backing up Embiid. That's what we need. That gets us to a championship. I'm serious.
Okay, which one was the one that got knocked out for like the entire season by Jokic? Markieff?
Yeah.
Okay, Marcus it is.
That's messed up.
Is it though?
It's messed up.
Is it? Listen, and by the way, in the defense of Paul Reed, listen, Paul.
I trust Paul Reed. I just think you still need another big man and another wing. Our guard situation as present, I'm cool with. If you're saying Isaiah Joe is going to get a shot this year, right? Thibault, Melton, Maxey, Harden, that's enough.
Mm-hmm.
And then Springer, think about it. Springer's got a shot to make the roster at that point.
I mean, Springer's going to be in the roster regardless of whether or not it's going to be in the G League again or not.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. And Daryl Morley says like he likes the kid, so hopefully that rings in the ears of Doc and Glenn.
Exactly. And then so like one more big man. Like I wouldn't mind spending a little money on a big man if there's somebody out there. And then
but like how much money are you gonna actually spend on like a center?
I mean, it depends on what we're talking about. If we talking about somebody who can play the 4 or 5, like because it sounds weird. I would take Bol. I know it sounds crazy, but like, why not? If he only has to play like 7 to 10 minutes a night,
he's still an experiment.
Yeah, and I guess at that point you just play Paul.
Yeah, because honestly, I feel like all the mistakes, like the foul trouble, all that. I feel like the more you play, the better you're equipped to, not foul out or like do any of the stuff that young players do. And it just, like you said, like it depends on how much of a leash Rivers is actually going to get these kids. Because you can talk about all this stuff about young player this, young player that. It's not going to matter if the coach is not going to reciprocate and put these kids on a short leash.
Exactly.
Because I feel like you had 20 plus games after the Andre Drummond trade to get Paul ready for the playoffs. Instead, you opted those minutes to split between Paul Millsap and DeAndre Jordan, knowing damn well they're going to get run off the court in the playoffs. Yep. Hello, 98.5 WJYN.
Yes, this is Al Norfleet calling in. How are you?
Hey, Al. How's it going, man? Thank you for calling.
How are you, Al?
Yes, sir. My pleasure.
Yeah, so once again, like, you're listening to 98.5 WJYN, the Running Back Sports Show, Sports for the Culture. We have our 6:30 interview with Al Norfleet. So, Al, why don't you were on the show last year. Tell us a little bit about yourselves for the viewers that didn't get a chance to hear you last time.
Okay, well, yeah, I'm a bus driver with Academy Bus, and I work for all the Philadelphia sports team. As a matter of fact, I'm here at the ballpark now. I have the Atlanta Braves tonight. 20-year retired military man, also a photographer.
Mm.
And just recently, I started a podcast, and I started producing a podcast. So everything is pretty much involved around sports, and that's where I am today.
Okay, you say you started a podcast. What do you have a name for it?
Yes, it's called Inside Sports from the Driver's Seat.
Oh, nice. You got to send me the link later so I'll be able to listen to it.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's on Spotify. It's on Amazon Music. It's on Buzzsprout.com. But yes, I definitely send you the link, though.
All right, awesome. So, you've been a bus driver for well over 2 decades. So, how initially did you get that job to begin with?
Well, what happened was I retired from the military in '93, and I was stationed at Fort Dix, New Jersey. And I started driving tractor trailers, but then I had a daughter that became terminally ill, and I didn't want to be out there on the road 3 or 4 weeks at a time with her being ill. So I saw the company, which was fairly close to my house. I stopped there and talked to them, filled out an application, and they said that they would accept me. And they did, and not only did they accept me, but they gave me a run. It was Atlantic City run, and it allowed me to spend the majority of the day at the hospital with my daughter. So I did an early morning run to Atlantic City, came back, and did a late evening run. And in between, that allowed me to spend a lot of time at the hospital with my daughter. And when she passed, I said, you know what, I'm going to stick with this company. They helped me out tremendously. And now it's been 27 years later, I'm still here.
That's awesome, and sorry for your loss.
No problem. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So throughout all the years, so what's in regards to driving all the teams? Like, what's the furthest that you drove in regards to like all the teams?
Well, as far as the team is concerned, we only go Washington, Baltimore, and New York. One thing about these professional players, they're very spoiled, they are very needy, and they don't like being on a bus for too long, you know. And so most everything that they do is fly. But even with the Eagles and the Phillies, when they move, we take them to the airport, which is 5 minutes away from the stadium. They won't even drive their cars there. But we take them to the airport, drop them off, and go play where they need to play. When they come back, we pick them back up at the airport and bring them back to the stadium where their cars are.
Okay. So, you got any good stories in regards to driving the bus with Eagles, the Sixers, Phillies, or Flyers?
Well, I mean, I have a tremendous amount of stories. And basically, that's one of the reasons I created my podcast, to share some of those. But dating back when I first started with the Eagles, I met a young lady there who was what they call the traveling secretary, and we became very good friends. And so she gave me a lot of responsibility around with the team when we, going places. So I help her out with the players, making sure they get to this place and that place. I got to know the guys really good, and especially back then, Coach Andrew Reid turned out to be one of the greatest human beings you ever want to be around, and treated us very well. And through all of that, I got to do a Campbell Soup commercial with Donovan McNabb and his mother back then, because everybody knew me. They knew the type of personality I have. So when the situation came up, they asked me if I wanted to be a part of it, and I said I would. And so we did a Campbell Soup commercial with Donovan McNabb and his mother, and that showed for about a year. And so that was something that was very neat for me and also profitable for me. But I just enjoy being around the guys, and the Eagles themselves, guys was very nice. Westbrook, Brian Dawkins, got to be personal with all of those guys, and still to this day, talk to Howard Thomas here and there, and very, very personal guys, and created a lifelong friendship with some of the guys.
Yeah. That's good. You gonna invite any of them onto your podcast?
Yes, I talked to Howard Thomas a couple of weeks ago, and he definitely said he would do it. And it's kind of hard with the Eagles, man, especially with them being away and getting ready for training camp. Right now, most of my podcast has been centered around the Phillies because it's in season. And matter of fact, yesterday I just had an interview with one of the ex-coaches, Larry Bohr. And so I did an editing on that, and I got it uploaded yesterday. So that I'm at 4 episodes right now. And so far, it was Larry Bohr from the Phillies, and there was another gentleman from the Phillies called Frank Koppenbarger. He was the traveling manager for the Phillies for over 30-some years. And there's been a fan down in Columbus, Georgia. Her name is Annette. She's a super Eagles fan, and she's probably more knowledgeable than a lot of people you see around the game. But I had an interview with her, but I do have some schedules coming up with some of the Eagles guys, and hoping to get Brian Dawkins in there. And so I'm just getting started. So little by little, I'm getting my list going, and try to upload every week, put a new episode on every week. So definitely going to have some of the Eagles personnel in there as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, quick question: since you drive the buses for all the teams, that means when the Phillies won in 2008 and the Eagles won the Super Bowl back in 2017, you also got a championship ring with them, correct?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And I guess that was more or less like a personal thing, because I know a lot of drivers around the company that drives a team, and everybody don't get that. But here again, I have longevity here, and I guess my personality match with these guys, and so they treat me like family. And when they're involved in something, they make sure I'm involved in it as well.
And dude, that's awesome. So like I said, like you said, the Eagles are getting ready, for their upcoming season. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for this upcoming Philadelphia Eagles season? Especially with the way that they had the draft, the addition of AJ Brown, Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts going into their second years together. So how excited are you?
I'm extremely excited. The scale goes beyond a 10 in this situation. Because like you said, with all the guys that you named, and with Jalen Hurts having a full year under his belt, being in the same system, having the same coaches, and with the addition of the talents that they put around him, I'm excited to see him progress. I'm sure that he will. For the little time that I've been around him, I see him as a young man who has a strong will, a strong mind, and he's not going to let bad talk or publicity get next to him. If anything, I think it'll fuel him and make him work harder. But I see him as a strength of the team this year. And with all the things around him, I think it's going to be an exciting season. I think it's going to be better than what a lot of people think it's going to be. I don't know for what reason people are so down on him, but I think they're going to be proven wrong this year. I think he's going to be absolutely fabulous.
Interesting. Yeah, because my co-host Jamal, he's already calling it right now. He says that the Eagles are going to be representing the NFC in the Super Bowl. He's already calling the shot.
They are.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing about sports. You got all these talk shows going on, And some of them are great to listen to, but some of them are so negative towards the home team. It's hard to listen to sometimes, but I'm hoping that people will get behind this team because, believe it or not, a team does play according to the city. If you got a positive city, more than likely you're going to have a positive team. And so I'm hoping that it goes that way. And also, the young lady that I was interviewing a couple of weeks ago, she said something that, I guess a lot of people don't think about. People just think about the Eagles. But you also have to think about this division, see what they have done, and then you could kind of measure up what they have done during the off season compared to what the Eagles has done. Even though right now it's all on paper, but when you really look at it, I think the Eagles have a tremendous advantage this upcoming season because they have done a little bit more in the off season than Washington, the Giants, or Dallas has done. Matter of fact, Dallas has lost some great name people. So I just hope we can take advantage of all those mishaps from the other teams within the division. And hopefully it will help us to progress a lot better.
Absolutely agree. Al, once again, man, I appreciate you, taking the time out of your schedule to do this interview. Tell the people where they can find you at on social media and the name again of your podcast.
Okay, the podcast's name is Inside Sports from the Driver's Seat. And you can find it on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple, and just about all your major podcast platforms. And my social media Facebook is just simply Al Norfleet. And my Instagram is alnorfleet.com or Eagles One Driver. Now, I must preface this by saying when you go onto Instagram, you're going to see a majority of my photography pictures. So just want to warn you of
that. I'm well aware of that. So,
okay.
Yeah, man. Al, once again, man, thank you for doing this interview, and have a good night out at the ballpark.
Thank you so much, and thanks for having me. Enjoy your evening.
Yep, go Phillies.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. Once again, you're listening to 98.5 WJYN, the Running Back Sports Show, Sports for the Culture. If you want to call or join the discussion, that number is 215-763-9596. And, man, Al is just a really pleasant human being.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, man, military man. I mean, the guy's lived such a enriching life. Served his country, gets to drive all four major Philadelphia sports teams, which is, now that I think about it, kind of a dream job of something I wanted to do if I was growing up.
Growing up, I'd do that now.
I just got to get that license part down. Oh, God, my dad was right.
I probably should have my license, too.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And
the boys are messing up. We don't have our driver's license.
Yeah. It's the economy. I mean, yeah. Technically it is. I mean, gas prices have gone up. Everything's gone up. And cost of living, period, has just gone up. And the wages just stayed the same. So, yeah, it is the economy, as people would say it.
Heard some people would say it's the economy. In this economy?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like I was saying on the phone, the Phillies are back at Citizens Bank Park for a 3-game set against the Atlanta Braves. The Phillies right now are a game and a half back of the last wild card spot in the National League East. And I still believe they're 9 games back out of first place Mets, and they're about a game and a half out of second place for the that's currently being occupied by the Atlanta Braves. But we did get the news, unfortunate news, that Bryce Harper did go under successful thumb surgery. It's expected to be out 6 weeks, even longer. But knowing Bryce, he's definitely going to do whatever it takes to come back as soon as he possibly can.
Exactly. Being the warrior he is, will probably go out there and bat right-handed or something if he needs to. Yeah, crappy circumstance. The rest of the bats got to step up. Schwarber, Hoskins, Castellanos, Realmuto, Herrera. There's plenty of bats in there.
Especially
Those guys-
Realmuto, man.
Seriously, those guys got to step up.
Yeah.
So this is the time to do it. They keep us afloat. Keep playing well until Bryce comes back. We got a shot to make the playoffs.
Yep. Right now, I just went to ESPN.com real quick. The fact check, they are 2 games out of the last wild card spot, which is currently being held by the St. Louis Cardinals. They're 3 games back of the Braves. So if they sweep the Braves, they'll officially take over second place. And then afterwards, they would still be between 5 to 8 games back of New York Mets.
Crazy.
But yeah, so Phillies have been really hot. They've won 8 out of their last 12. I mean, they went and took 3. What was 3 out of 3
4
out
out
of
of 5 against the Mets.
yeah, and and they split for the Padres, right?
And I think we won 3 out of 4 with the Padres.
Okay, let me double. Yes, we did. We won 3 out of 4 of the Padres. Good stuff, and obviously the fortunate news about Bryce Harper. But yeah, so everything going pretty well. The bats are still hitting pretty well. Bullpen has definitely been stepping up. It's looking like Aaron Nola is turning back the clock to back when he was a former All-Star back in 2017, 2018. So it's just a matter of just keeping the ship afloat while your MVP is out.
Yep. And that's what you pay guys like Schwarber for. Castellanos. That's what you're paying Zach Wheeler for. Like you said, Aaron Nola. The bullpen is kind of settled a bit. Still shaky almost nights, but, kind of gets the job done. So, I don't know. I'm loving this team so far. It's got a lot of moxie.
Yeah. Showing a lot of heart. Matt Verlin made a really good, diving catch, the other day, in San Diego. So, like, everybody's stepping up. Like, everybody's doing, everybody's contributing. And that's kind of the one thing you want to say. Like, I feel like this team is the combination of heart, grit that this team period has been missing, and just guidance that they've just been missing over these past 10 years. Yeah, it's right now. This baseball season was pretty good, Dodgers and Padres are battling out in the West.
Yes.
And then we go over to the American League. It's the Yankees and everybody else.
Oh, I love it.
It's going to be Yankees and Astros in the ALCS again, is it?
Yep. Unless the Blue Jays have something to say about it.
Yeah. Anyway, listen, man. I love baseball. I watch it enough to at least know what's going on, but playoff baseball is just a completely different animal, and it's probably one of the most exciting things to see. And shoot, man.
Playoff baseball is awesome.
Speaking of awesome, did you see that giant fight, the clear bench fight?
Oh yeah, Mariners and Angels.
Yep.
I love that Shohei Ohtani didn't get involved.
Yeah, like Joe was like, yeah, that's crazy.
It's like, guys, fellas. I'm not even mad about it. But I'm also thinking, like, it's weird that in culture moment, guys, culture warning. It's weird that in every other sport, when there's fights, it's characterized as one thing except for basketball, which is a predominantly black sport. Like in hockey, it's allowed. In baseball, it's like, whoa. And in football, it's kind of like, depending on which players it is, it depends. But basketball is just objectively, like, oh, how dare they? And there's all these think pieces and all this. It's stupid.
I'm sorry. That, like, thinking about the NFL and the fights, I'm sorry. The Andre Johnson, Cortland Finnegan fight just came right into my head.
An epic moment.
Yeah. to me, what took me off is that Andre Johnson's probably the most mild mannered person like anyone will probably ever meet. If you talk to anybody that's ever close to him.
Yep.
So I just need to know like what exactly Cortland Finnegan said or did to make him rip off his helmet and just start a haymaker in the back of his head.
It was terrible. That was one of the most like actual fights in NFL because that's the other thing. So many padding and helmet, you can't really have a fight. You can slam a guy or something like that, but
or you could do what Akeem Delete did to Michael Crabtree and just grab a chain.
He really ripped his chain off. That was crazy. that was really crazy.
Do you think maybe any of like the other like major sports should kind of adopt the way like hockey fights are?
I wouldn't mind, but I think no, because think about it. Hockey, most of the hits are to the face, so it's not like there's any protecting. Like normally your helmet comes off, punches to the face, and then you like go to the penalty box. I think it could work. But it truthfully depends on if people want to actually put in that policy.
Yeah.
I don't see why not though.
Yeah. Because I think baseball players wouldn't mind that. Especially with the way like, people be going after the heads, like, all those quote unquote unwritten rules. And like because of that, you have people feeling some type of way. So like, yeah, just let them fight. Like, even if it's for like the most petty reason, like you guys are on 7, you stole second, let me fight this guy real quick. I'm like, yeah, sure, okay. I ain't gonna stop you. But yeah, definitely. So let's see what we got. Once again, you're listening to 98.5 WJYN, the Running Back Sports Show. Sports for the culture. If you want to call to join the discussion, the number is 215-763-9596. And Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson disciplinary hearing adjourned Tuesday evening, set to resume Wednesday, which could take another day or two. So Deshaun Watson obviously has his hearings about the sexual assault charges, and the NFL is looking like it's going to be setting up for at least a season-long suspension for Deshaun Watson.
Well, my Browns prediction is down the toilet.
Yeah.
See what I did there?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. We're all impressed.
Thank you. I'll be here all week.
Oh, man. Deshaun Watson interviewed about 11 Watson's accusers. 11. Oof, man. Yeah, buddy. You should go back to Joe Burrow when you can, man. 98.5 WJYN, the Running Back Sports Show.
My brother Chris, how are you?
Hey, what's going on, Warren?
Hey man, it's been a minute. I've been trying to, finally try to catch you guys live. I had a little bit of time. I wanted to chime in for a few minutes, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure, man. Floor is yours. What you got on your mind?
Well, a couple things. I remember you guys had a list about a couple weeks ago, like greatest finishers. I had always wanted to chime in on that.
Oh, wrestling? Heck yeah.
I don't know if you guys follow AEW as much as I do.
We follow it enough.
Well, one of my finishers is One-Winged Angel.
Yeah, Kenny Omega.
Yeah, I thought I've always been a big fan of. I've been a big fan of both his finishers. The one he did previously, the Curse Wrap, and then the One-Winged Angel. Also, because it's literally the definition of what a protected finisher is. Only one person in his entire career has kicked out of it, and that's Kota Ibushi. And I think that's. And then I'm a big fan of pile drivers, regardless of the variation. If it's a cradle, tombstone, gotch, how Pentagon Jr. does it. I feel like a pile driver should finish a match.
No, Josh Alexander has the best pile driver in the world.
Hey, Warren. Listen, if you're talking about pile drivers, man, you're being real disrespectful. You forgot about P.D. Williams, man, Make Believe Muscle, the Canadian Destroyer.
Well, that's more of a destroyer than
the Panama Sunrise, the Canadian Destroyer, the flip pile driver, the P.D. Williams special.
Yeah. Oh, you're a real wrestling guy, huh, Warren?
Oh yeah, no, yeah. When I saw Petey Williams do it when I was 10 years old to AJ Styles, my favorite wrestler, I was like, oh my god, my second favorite wrestler.
Whoa. Who you say your favorite wrestler was?
My favorite wrestler of all time is Bryan Danielson. Then it's AJ Styles.
Okay. Because AJ is my one, and then it's Randy Orton. So
Bryan Danielson, literally, like, he was one of the few wrestlers. Like, when he retired, I actually audibly cried. And then when he came back,
Same.
I was like so ecstatic to see him wrestle. Like, he inspired me that people basically like his size can be like all-timers, 5'10", 180. So like that was always inspiring to me. I'm also a big fan of Kurt Angle's ankle lock. Just how he did it, especially with the when he like
when he would
sit down and
grapevine,
like wrap his whole body around you.
Yeah.
I really thought he was going to break your ankle because that's how believable it was.
No, that's fair. I always say my out of left field one that people don't give credit for is the clothesline from hell. JBL used to destroy people with the clothesline from hell.
I am a big fan of a great lariat.
Yo,
I liken his to a more of a lariat.
AJ, you know who AJ Gray is?
William Regal said, "Clotheslines knock you down, lariats knock you out," and that's what JBL's was. It was a. Did you guys check out Forbidden Door?
Some highlights, but not really. We're more WWE guys than AEW guys, but we pay attention to some people. Obviously, we saw Claudio redawning his moniker, Claudio Castagnoli. Will Ospreay and Orange Cassidy apparently had a good match. Pac is the Mid-Atlantic champion, I guess, or All-Atlantic champion.
Yeah.
I have just watched the event. I had caught it live. I couldn't secure tickets in time to actually physically go there, but I was able to catch it live. And for all the politics, injuries, and people and egos between Japan and
Didn't New Japan just get buried all night?
Was probably one of the 3 to 4 best pay-per-view like wrestling events. And like not even like being a stand, like objectively speaking, it was not a single bad match on the card. Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland had the best match on the pre-show. Will Ospreay and Orange Cassidy probably have the match of the night. Like, as crazy as that may sound, Will Ospreay is every bit as good as people say he is.
He's no Seth Rollins though.
And he's better, but
wow, Warren, man, look at that. Look at the time, Chris. Look at the time.
As much of a butthole as he is, I would take him 12 out of 10 times in the ring over Seth Rollins.
No, Niz. Nope.
I think peak for peak, like at their best, Will is like 5 people on Will's level in terms of just pound for pound best. Like
5 people on his level. Please tell me these 5 people, Warren.
That's as good as Will at his best. Baker, Okada.
Okay.
Okada, Omega, Danielson.
That's 3.
Who will be the other 2? When she's got her working boots on, probably that if she's still there, Io Shirai. That is the one person. When Io Shirai, because there's a reason why WWE signed her. She's the best women's wrestler in the world. Now I got to give her respect.
You mispronounced Sasha Banks.
No, I think she's better than Sasha personally.
What? Man, it's crazy. Sasha Banks is Eddie Guerrero reincarnated. That's crazy. That's crazy.
If he just wasn't content on just being spending the rest of his days out, I would say AJ Styles is better than Seth Rollins.
But that's a given. AJ Styles is one of the 5 best wrestlers of all time.
Yeah,
Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Okada. AJ Styles. Like, we talking about people who can have a match with a broomstick. That's the first 3 people you got to start talking about. Then you can name other people.
You know what's crazy? I wouldn't even put Bret in my first 5 people that I was back to the broomstick. I probably put Styles, Danielson, Kurt Angle in his prime, because people forget how great Kurt Angle in his prime was.
No, because Kurt was number 4 on my list.
Shawn Michaels when he feels like cooperating.
There's another person who shall not be named who would go on that list.
Okada or Omega would be my 5.
I'm just saying, if we were talking about who could wrestle a broomstick,
I mean, listen,
I'm just being real.
No.
Like, I'm just being real.
I just want to let you know, like, that's my guy, and like how much it hurts not being able to talk about.
But we just gonna Voldemort it and say there's a 5th person who will go on that list. He that shall not be named will be on that list as well with Angle. No. I'm sorry. We can't do that.
Also, now time has passed. I was telling Chris a while ago. Next time I get you on the air, I was gonna troll you about the KD situation getting swept. But cooler heads have prevailed. I let bygones be bygones. Because I'm not gonna lie. The day the Nets got swept, Chris get a text. I was like, tell your friend Ha. Tell him Ha. Best player who? Ha. Swept. But
did the Bucks win the title?
For the day. Philadelphia. You guys feeling confident about your basketball team?
We good over here.
I'm good. I'm glad because
we'll be in the second round.
Saying we're gonna keep Levine. So like.
Yeah. I heard you guys
Lonzo's knee.
Yeah, we're gonna sign him to the max. So I'm grateful for that.
Y'all want to do a sign and trade? James Harden for the Zach.
My White Sox can't be healthy, so that's a wasted season, unfortunately. My Bears, they're trying to trade Robert Quinn for God knows why.
Yeah.
To Pittsburgh for picks and Chase Claypool, I think.
I mean,
something stupid like
Chase Claypool.
I mean,
yeah,
top 3 receiver Chase Claypool?
Stop.
I mean, that's what Chase Claypool said. He a top 3 receiver.
Stop it.
I mean,
don't ever repeat that out loud again.
I mean, that's what
he should never repeat that out loud.
I mean, top 3 in Philadelphia. I mean, top 3 in Pennsylvania, sure.
Miz.
You're right. Top 3 in Pittsburgh.
Okay, yeah. Because top 3 in Pennsylvania, he's not better than Deontay Johnson.
He's not even a top 5 Pittsburgh athlete. Philadelphia athlete. If we're being honest, but
who Chase Claypool? If he moved to Philadelphia, no, he wouldn't be a top 5 Philadelphia athlete. He's not a top 5 Pittsburgh athlete. If Kenny Malkin, Sidney Crosby, Kenny Pickett right now,
Kenny Two Gloves, my boy,
Cruz O'Neal, Brian Reynolds,
Bryce Harper.
And that's just Pennsylvania. That was just Pittsburgh. I was naming. I didn't even name our guys.
Forgot Britt Baker.
Yeah, Britt Baker.
Oh, y'all are high on that mediocre woman. All right.
Who's high on her? I was making fun of the fact that she was y'all champion for a year.
I mean, that was y'all queen.
I think she's just like her boyfriend. I think.
Whoa.
They're over with the crowd.
She was what she thinks Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair is what she thinks she is. Sorry to tell you that.
I would still take Charlotte Flair in the ring over Britt Baker.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying Charlotte Flair. I'm saying Charlotte Flair is what Britt Baker thinks she is.
When in reality, she's just.
And as diva-tastic as Charlotte Flair is, if Charlotte Flair wants to put on her working boots, Charlotte Flair will come in the building and outwork you. Because
Charlotte Flair is the best wrestler on the planet. I tell Chris that all the time.
She knows how to work.
Yeah.
If you want to be honest, she's the best wrestler on the planet. If you really want to be honest, pound for pound, availability, all of that, anything you want to add into it, she's the Undertaker right now. Of course, as far as quality, consistency, come to work, it's going to all be there. I don't care what you think about me. I don't care what you think backstage. It don't get more consistent than Charlotte Flair right now. And that's honestly.
WWE?
Huh?
WWE?
You said in the E?
WWE, she's the best, pound for pound,
I think she's the pound for pound best in the world, but in WWE, easily, yes. That's why Vince lets her do whatever she wants.
I can't coach. I don't even think she's the best horsewoman, but.
Who's the best? If you say Becky Lynch, you have to get off this phone.
No, I've always thought, if I'm going to keep it the best, who's got all the, what it takes to be a wrestler wrapped in one, it's probably Bayley. But
Bailey's
I
not
think
even better than
Bailey's just as
Sasha,
good
and
of a
she never
worker
will
as
be.
heel and face, like Charlotte and Sasha are. I think Sasha's probably the best worker of the group. But I think, like, in terms of character work, what she can do on the promo and in ring, it's Bailey. Bailey has the balance of all of them. Charlotte Flair can't be a babyface. She doesn't know how to be a babyface because Charlotte Flair is literally Charlotte Flair, face or heel.
But
That's
that's what I
that-
think makes her
that's kinda-
great. That's a fair point, but I don't think it's.
I mean,
Charlotte Flair.
all right, yeah.
Like Bailey went from like John Cena babyface to as a heel.
hello, ding
Like,
dong.
like and it worked. Like Sasha Banks, she gets the boss, and that's either going to get me cheered or booed. But people respect Sasha because she's Sasha Banks. Charlotte Flair is like, I'm my daddy's child. Woo. I'm the greatest. Woo.
I'm the opportunity.
I'm married to Andrade. Woo.
Yeah, but she also puts on 5-star matches. Woo. So what are we doing here?
No, I probably think Becky's like the worst worker of the group. Even though I was a big fan of the man gimmick, I love the man gimmick. I don't know what he's doing now. The stuff, like, it's crazy. Like, I think Seth Rollins is cringe, but it's probably the most over he is now with the little laughter and the terrible suits. But the crowd loves him. The crowd loves him, and they love to sing his stupid theme song.
All right, there are a lot of
And
things.
it's crazy.
All right, there are a lot of things you can say on this airwave, man, but don't come at Seth Rollins' drip.
Oh, no, I think the curb stomp is the greatest thing he's ever done in his career. But the drip god is the drip god. I love me Seth. I think Seth should have been the one to dethrone Roman a long time ago. When they had that match, he should have took one of them
At the
titles
Rumble, that's what I
but they didn't
said.
pull the trigger because Vince McMahon has a hard on for Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar matches for whatever reason. But
Listen,
I noticed you guys are talking about the Deshaun Watson thing. It's crazy that his team thinks that he only deserves like 0 games. They want to give him like the minimum. You had like 28 people that accused you of sexual assault along the lines of that, and you settled with 4. I mean, you said all but 4, and you think you're not going to get suspended? Okay.
Yeah.
You are black, Deshaun. You are black, you are going to get suspended a year and some change. Like, let's call it. If they didn't throw the book under Big Ben, and he did that twice, the whole year and some. Let's call it what it is. The nerve of him, the nerve of Deshaun Watson, the nerve of the Browns for being like, yeah, we're gonna this $1 million salary. But don't worry, buddy. When you're free, we're gonna pay you all this guaranteed money. Cleveland Browns should be ashamed of themselves too. I hope they don't win a damn Super Bowl for the rest of their tenure that Deshaun Watson's there for hiring that man and giving him all that money. They deserve everything they get. I hope they're 0-16 every year under center because of this foolishness.
Jeez. Sounds like you really feel
Like
it.
it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like the NFL don't really care about women. They don't care about seats. They don't care about people in concussion rate. They don't care about black people for real. All they really care about is money and to sell tickets. And you have an organization that has been a mess since Jim Brown was living his days in the 60s, beating women and smoking cigars. And they're all of a sudden like, we got this super uber talented man, and he's very talented, top 5 quarterback in the league. He's also a deplorable son of a. I can't say it on the air. Like, how talent? Like, at some point where y'all got to say no. It looks like the Nets. Like, Kyrie's worth all this drama, all this mess, and I think Kyrie's a Hall of Famer. I think he's outstanding, and I think when he's not being fake deep, has valid points. But y'all sat there and said we're not going to deal with this another season, and then you let the man hop in. Like, what are we doing here? That's why I think organizations are a bunch of mess. I think that players are allowed to be a bunch of mess because the people are paying them or letting them be stupid. So they all deserve what they get. When Brooklyn gets out in the first round and KD's frustrated again for not getting out the first round with half available Ben Simmons, KD playing 55 to 60 games because I don't know how well his body's going to hold up, and Kyrie Irving playing every other Sunday that y'all lied in, and y'all have to make it. So,
Yeah, that's true. But you got to think about it from the Cleveland Browns situation. Like I said, like this is an organization that hasn't been to the Super Bowl. They haven't made it to the AFC Championship game since the mid '90s. '94 was the last time they were in the AFC title game, right? So like you got to think like you have a Super Bowl ready roster. So if you have the opportunity to go after a top 5 quarterback, regardless of what the price is, you go ahead and do that because you feel like Deshaun Watson is the difference between just being a playoff team and being a wild card team and being a Super Bowl contender. So from the optic standpoint, in terms of organization wise, I understand the move, but in regards to just the morality aspect of it, the NFL is morally bankrupt. Like you would think at this point, it's like all the outrage about Deshaun Watson, the years that, Greg Hardy was still allowed to get an NFL check. We got guys who literally were get DUIs and manslaughter, still be able to collect checks in the NFL. You would think by now, but the NFL doesn't care about what's right or what's wrong. They care about the bottom line, like you said, and they care about, okay, what can get me to a Super Bowl, and is it worth it? Deshaun Watson on the field, like you said, is a top 5 quarterback, and you're in the AFC North. You're going up against Lamar Jackson twice a year. A great Pittsburgh defense with now a mobile quarterback, without a quarterback who was able to move, and a Cincinnati team that just went on a miracle run to the Super Bowl. You're going to need that ammunition to compete for a Super Bowl. And if they feel like, Deshaun Watson is that guy, you punt this year, you go for next year to compete for a Super Bowl, then by all means, like, I understand kind of where Andrew Berry and the Cleveland organization is coming from.
I get it on a talent standpoint, and I think if they just kept Baker this year, Baker was healthy, I think they would have been probably fine in theory.
Oh yeah, but I agree on that also. That's another topic.
Feeling with Baker Mayfield, and I'm not saying that Deshaun Watson is not better than Baker Mayfield because we all know that's obvious law. But if Baker Mayfield was healthy, and he's healthy, they've improved their roster, and you ask Baker Mayfield to not do. It basically Baker Mayfield basically did what he did the year before last, which he's very capable of doing. They'd be in the same position. And people forget they were beating the Chiefs that game. Well, they had canceled beat the Chiefs that game when Mahomes got concussed. So it's not like they weren't like a couple of plays away from going to the conference finals with Baker Mayfield as like the starting quarterback. So people forget that easily. I mean, you could just ran it back with Baker Mayfield healthy, got the running core, got the offensive line, got like available playmakers, and probably won 12 games. Because I mean, look at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has a great coach, a great defense, Mitch Trubisky, and you're running Najee Harris to the ground. You don't have a lot of offensive weapons for real. You got Lamar Jackson. They basically said, "Hey, bro, we're not gonna pay you. We're not gonna give you a wide receiver." And you got to do everything again by yourself. Okay. Like
All right, so what are you talking about, man? My man is Devin Duvernay. He's fine.
His sins for no reason in Baltimore because they don't refuse to give him help. And then you got Cincinnati, who I think will probably be worse than last year because I just feel like, Cincinnati is like you guys been saying. Cincinnati just had that miracle run to the playoffs where everything worked in their favor. And it's crazy to say, I think Kansas City probably better than they were last year, honestly. You don't have Tyreek Hill anymore. Of course, like that's the speed route, man. But also, Mahomes' turnovers are probably go down because a lot of his turnovers is related to Tyreek's down there somewhere. you get ready to short this man on the field. You got competent, bigger receivers. Mahomes knows how to slow the ball down and can read defenses. I think they'll be fine. But I don't know. See how the football season's going to turn out. I'm already sad to see my team going 7-10, so I'm going to make sure I'm not sober every time I watch the Bears play. But it's going to be okay. Like I don't understand this organization. We're good. We have a good defense, terrible offense. We have a good offense, terrible defense. The time we have it right, they don't want to pay anybody. Like, I hate being a Bears fan. I hate it. You know, I see why people make fun of us, like in Chicago, like why people make fun of the Bulls because their organization ran terrible. People make fun of the Bears because their organization ran terrible. The only competent organization we had was the Blackhawks, and now they're one of the worst teams in the league. It's like being a Chicago fan at this time. Beautiful city, beautiful food, beautiful women, everything. Terrible teams right now. So. But
Hashtag free Justin Fields.
You said what?
Hashtag free Justin Fields.
Hey, I just want you to know, Chris, from the bottom of my heart, I'm rooting for him. I believe in Justin Fields. Now, I don't think my team believes in Justin Fields, but I believe in Justin Fields. You know what I'm saying? I want him to succeed. I want a black quarterback to succeed in Chicago, so all these racist heads can be like, there's probably someone of color that can succeed here. But also, 20 years to the almighty GOAT, Jonathan Cena out here. You know, I'm glad that they didn't give him the time. I'm glad John Cena said, I'm not going to fight Theory. I'm so grateful for that because I can't stand Theory, and John Cena don't need to waste his talents on someone like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen.
That was all I got out of my 20-minute passionate speech.
Oh, man. That's good. It's good to hear. All right, Warren, man. Well, as us, we appreciate the call.
All right, guys. Y'all be smooth.
All right, man. You do the same, man. Be safe out there.
Thank you.
Once again, you're listening to 98.5 WJY and the Red Bat Sports Show, Sports for the Culture. If you want to call to join the discussion, the number is 215-763-9596. Y'all good, man?
Yeah. Hungry, but also thinking about what the Phils, well, not the Phils more so, but what the rest of the baseball season in general is going to look like. Yankees are dominating. Dodgers are playing well. Mets seem like the best team in the NL. There's a lot of different things going on.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah. And in case anybody hasn't caught the news, the Rockets and John Wall have agreed to a buyout. And now, due to the buyout, John Wall is expected to sign with the Clippers as soon as the buyout is confirmed. I know that's good for you.
Oh, I can't wait to put this futures bet on the Clippers. It's gonna be awesome. Put a nice cool $100 down. I think they're at like 750 odds or something like that, plus 750.
So you're really all in on the Clippers then.
Yeah. I think they're the best team. I think if you were to say, like, imagine the Mortal Kombat, you know how they reset the franchise, like I think at the end of 10, I guess, when they like did the time reset and everything was reset.
Yeah.
You just reset the NBA to every team completely and utterly healthy, as constructed present day right now. Who's the best roster?
The Warriors.
How? If any team matches up with them, it's the Clippers. They can go as deep. No one on the Warriors. Who on the Warriors is going to guard Kawhi Leonard?
As of right now, it'll probably be Andrew Wiggins.
You see my point?
Hey, that's all-star starter and NBA champion Andrew Wiggins to you, sir. We're going to start putting respect on Andrew Wiggins. Maple Jordan, baby.
He really was an all-star. He really was an all-star starter and a starter on a chip team in the same year. Sorry, Free.
That's some GOAT stuff for me.
Wonder what Karl Anthony Towns ever did.
Yeah, Karl Anthony Towns can't even get out of the first round.
You hate to see it.
Yeah. But no, that's probably going to be Western Conference Finals. It's probably those two teams.
Honestly, yeah. Warriors, Clippers. I can see that.
Yeah. And then obviously you're gonna still have the usual suspects. The Nuggets are gonna be scary.
The Nuggets are gonna be back.
Yeah.
I think the 4 best teams are gonna be some combination of Mavericks, Clippers, Warriors, Nuggets.
I was gonna say Mavericks.
I think Warriors Nuggets is going to be the round 2 matchup, and I think Clippers Mavs is going to be the round 2 matchup. And I think everybody's going to expect Luka to get by this time, but I think the Clippers are a team that just have his number. Pat Bev or no Pat Bev.
Hey man, listen, just give Luka some help.
Man, John Wall, like a real point guard, dude. And if he's got that speed, he's had a chance to sit for a year. His body's relaxed. He's going to go with guys where he doesn't have to be the best scorer. He's got guys that can shoot. He can swing the ball to, guys that can run with him in transition. This is going to be crazy. And nobody's thinking of it. Whether you want to see him as that version of John Wall, this is still 3 all-stars on a team.
So Wall, honestly, I think Reggie's going to start because seniority kind of matters.
Wall, Luke Kennard, Kawhi, PG, Zubac. And then if you're talking, what are you talking there? Small ball lineup? I guess you go PG,
I think
Kawhi.
I think Kennard's coming on off the bench. I think Powell starts. So probably Wall, Powell, George, Kawhi, and Zubac.
And then what's their small ball lineup look like? Kawhi, PG, Covington, Powell, Wall.
Yeah.
Or you could go Reggie instead of Wall if you wanted 5 shooters.
Yeah. And the thing about that lineup is that you could switch. And you could
If you have Reggie and you can switch all 5?
Yeah.
I think with Wall, you can switch 1 through 3 because he's lengthy.
But
I don't think
like Wall, Powell, George, and Kawhi and Covington. You can switch 1 through 5 because all those are competent defenders.
Yeah, that's true. Because Wall's 6'3", but he's like 6'7", 6'8" wingspan.
Yeah.
So you can,
And he's always been a really good defensive point guard. It's
people
just
forget that just because he hasn't played in years.
Yeah.
So then who's the backup point guard now?
Reggie. It's either.
Oh yeah, so it's Wall or Reggie.
Yeah.
I think and then you got Terrence Mann still off the bench. You got Brandon Boston. I think you still need. I don't know what you're going to do with Batum. I think you need like 1 or 2.
No, Batum opted out, so he's gone.
Okay.
Honestly, no, the salary has to make sense. Well, they still got one. They still got Marcus Morris also.
Oh yes, you got Covington, Morris, Kennard.
Either probably
Reggie,
Wall's probably coming
Wall.
off the bench.
So like
Wall, Man, Kennard, Morris,
Boston, and that's not bad 5. And then I think Haverstein is the backup big.
Yeah.
If y'all let McGee go, they should sign McGee to back up Zubac. That'd be great.
Yeah. We're not letting him go. He's going to be a starter next year.
Yo, DeAndre Ayton to Detroit. That unlocks Detroit. Like that's the move of the summer. Nobody's talking about it because there's no other. They're the only team with money.
They're not going to get. They're out of DeAndre Ayton now.
Oh,
When you drafted Jalen Durant's a center, so they're not going to get him.
I'm just saying, Jaden Ivey, Cade Cunningham, Sadiq Bey, or I guess who would be the 3?
Sadiq Bey.
Sadiq Bey, who's the 4 then? In that scenario,
Probably pick somebody up because he still have cap space.
and then Ayton. You know who they could use? A pillar of the community.
Tobias Harris is staying here, bro. You got to let that go.
I gotta let it go. You the one that had it in my head that he could be going. Now I'm living there, and you gonna tell me I gotta let it go?
I mean, I like Tobias. It's just not at $35 million. But I've accepted the fact because of how egregious that contract is, he's going to stay. So I've accepted it. If you can find a way to get that extra money, to still find a way to finagle extra money to get PJ Tucker here, then that's the starting 5 you're going to roll out. Because you now have an enforcer in your lineup. The guy that's willing to get into people's faces. A guy that can knock down a corner 3. A guy who has hit chemistry with James Harden.
That's important too.
Yeah. And not to mention, don't and everybody's putting them in trade scenarios, which I really don't understand why, but Tyrese Maxey is going to be the second leading scorer of this team next year.
Pretty much was this year. Let's be real.
Yeah. But I feel like he's definitely going to 100% take that next step where it's like, all right, after Embiid, it's you. And let Harden just be the point guard. Harden's still going to give you like 19, 20 points, but I feel like in terms of shot repertoire, Embiid's obviously going to go first because he's going to get his. And then after that, it has to be Maxey.
Yep.
And then like when you do your little like substitution package, keep Tobias in there with like D'Anthony Melton. And then let Melton run the offense and just go through Tobias Harris on the offense where Harden and Embiid are on the bench.
Exactly.
Just
I forgot about D'Anthony Melton too.
yeah. I'm just like, he's 6'2", but look at that 6'9" wingspan. He can run in transition. Oh, yep, sign me up.
He gets you 3.
I'm just like, it's not just going to be Tyrese Maxey just trying to deal with a 1-on-3 break by himself anymore.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah. But still, there's only one thing holding me back in terms of any sort of excitement about this team, and we all know what it is.
What?
It's Rivers. It's Glenn.
It's Glenn.
It's always Glenn.
It's always been you, Glenn. Anyone but you, Glenn.
Real talk. It just still bothers me watching that sound effect where it's like, yo, guys, show some fight. He's literally begging them to show any sort of fight whatsoever. And only like 2 of them answered the call. And everybody else just gave up on him. And you brought him back.
When you suck as a coach, it is what it is.
Like, if you're a top 15 coach of all time, you shouldn't have to beg your team to fight in a win or go home scenario.
Never.
Yeah.
Phil Jackson didn't have to
Beg Kobe or Shaq. Popovich never had to beg Tim Duncan or Tony Parker or Manu to fight.
They just did it because they respected their coach and their team.
Real talk, I don't mean to just pile up on this. Like, if you had, let's say, like you do a poll, like a private poll, with everybody that's on the roster right now, how many of those players will give a vote of no confidence to Doc? It would either be vote of confidence, no confidence, or like no vote.
At least 6 of them, I would think. I feel like that's a fair number.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to have my weekly fat boy thing on it. A slice of pepperoni pizza would be awesome right now. I'm sorry.
But yeah, once again, do this for the 98.5 WJYN, the Running Back Sports Show, sports for the culture. If you want to call to join the discussion, we still got about a half hour left. That number is 215-763-9596. I finally got around to. I have full weekends off, so I finally got around to start watching The Boys. Like everybody's on.
I don't have Amazon Prime.
Yeah. Good thing my mom does. But
So you gonna swing that password or no?
anyway, so far so good.
That's crazy. It be your own people.
We don't discuss those affairs on air, man.
I'll swing you to Hulu.
Huh?
Oh, now you intrigued.
What'd you say?
I'll swing you to Hulu.
Okay, first off, I don't know my mom's password. Every single time I ask her, like, Mom, what's your password? Oh, I don't know. Where do you think I get it from?
Bruh.
What about that Hulu, though?
Wow. Be your own people.
You want YouTube TV? I mean, real talk. I'm paying $70 a month for it, so that trumps anything that you could possibly give me.
Is that your final deal? YouTube TV for Hulu?
Yeah, I mean, you can watch all the Phillies games, Sixer games.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. So, what other services you got?
I got Disney Plus for Logan. But
I'm not trying to intervene on that.
exactly, yeah, because then you
There's a
you know who gonna curse you out behind that, and I can't save you on that one.
Oh yeah, I know. Why do you think I'm not treading those waters?
Can't save you there, good brother. Sorry.
Save her, don't want to be saved.
I'm so hungry. I'm sorry.
Oh my
I'm
god.
trying to focus the last half hour. But I can taste food.
But yeah, still on season 1, halfway through season 1 right now. It's actually pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah. Carl Urban as Billy Butcher is freaking hilarious. Like,
Carl Urban?
Yeah.
Who is Carl Urban?
the guy that plays Billy Butcher in The Boys, the guy that played Claw in Black Panther.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, great job so far. What else? I don't watch that much. I really don't watch that much TV anymore. I really don't. I work too much. Oh God, I'm really am 30.
Yep. You just made that was the most 30 phrase ever. I don't watch TV much. I work a lot. Yeah. That's our life now. Oh God, life is depressing.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I've found a situation where I work a 9 to 5 and you're still working in the late at nights.
Yeah.
You sacrifice your afternoon and your evenings and nights just to work on the pier. We appreciate you, man. You guys are the unsung heroes. You know, during the pandemic, there was like, you know, you guys are the real heroes. Yeah, you are the real hero.
What I want to say to you, I can't say on the air, but I'm gonna let people imagine what I say to Chris right now.
We appreciate you.
I hear you.
So let's see. And breaking news and a shocker, Russell Westbrook has picked up his $47.1 million option to go play for the LA Lakers again. What a shocker. Who would have ever thought that Russell Westbrook would turn down $47 million to not play for the Lakers?
Not this guy over here. Not this guy over here. See that?
The Lakers are a mess. All right, let's go. Also, shout out to Terry McLaurin. He has received a 3-year, $71 million extension. And on average, he's now the highest paid receiver in NFL history now.
Really?
Yeah,
That's,
on an average base, yeah.
that's crazy.
NBA free agents 2022. All right, let's check NBA free agencies. Zach LaVine, he's coming back to Chicago. James Harden, he's already opted in. Miles Bridges, that's going to be an interesting scenario to follow because Charlotte has already come out saying we are not going to give you the max money.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, 20.7 rebounds, close to 4 assists. There is going to be a team that's going to be out. It's like, you know what? We got nothing to lose. We'll pay him. Detroit.
So then we should start lining up at that point.
Cunningham, Ivy, Sadiq Bey, Bridges, Jalen Duren.
Ooh, Bridges to Detroit will be awesome.
Yes.
Is that McHale or Miles?
Miles.
Miles.
Miles is the power forward. Mikel is the shooting guard.
Yo, Miles Bridges in Detroit might work.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yep.
Play multiple positions.
I still think Aiton's the better play, but I also think you're right that the Suns will let him go.
Yeah. Speaking of, the Phoenix is still trying to work on any sort of sign and trade scenario in regards to him. I honestly don't know how to feel. Am I going to offer this guy the max money? No, I don't feel like he is a max player, but But if you want to be competitive, you got to pay him. That's it. Chris Paul, listen, at this point, Chris Paul is who he is. He's not getting any younger. So bite the bullet, try to run it back, because there's really no wiggle room in which you can make this roster better. So just
That much difference. So
Yeah.
might as well just take it out now.
Yep. And Jalen Brunson, that's every day the mutters about him going to the Knicks grows more and more every single day. And I really don't understand. I understand the Knicks need a point guard, but is Jalen Brunson that much of a needle mover you're going to give him well over $100 million for?
I can see that.
So how would that work? Would it be him, RJ Barrett? Who would be the starting three? Evan Fournier? Be him,
So it'll be him, Fournier, R.J. Barrett,
Julius
Randle,
Randle, and Robinson.
and Mitchell Robinson.
Okay, that's decent. That can, yeah, if they're fully healthy, that's a playing team.
Easily,
Yeah, Bradley Beal, we already know he's going to opt out and go get the Supermax. That is Washington. The Wizards is going to be some ugly. Colin Sexton is also a restricted free agent. Anthony Simons is also a restricted free agent. I don't think he's going anywhere either. Gary Payton.
I would love Gary Payton in a second.
Yeah, he's going to be a free agent. And a guy who I suggested that the Sixers should go after is from Brooklyn, Bruce Brown. He signed a 1-year, $4.7 million deal last year. If you don't have enough money to offer to PJ Tucker, I wouldn't mind Bruce Brown in Philadelphia because you could put him in your starting lineup and that could be your starting three.
I would love Bruce Brown if I started him.
Yep. Not to mention, he's young. He's about to turn 26 in August.
PJ Tucker and Bruce Brown would be two great additions.
Yeah. Nick Claxton, he's a restricted free agent. Dante DiVincenzo, he's a restricted free agent. Kyle Anderson, slow-mo, he's a free agent. Along with Tyus Jones, Gary Harris, Malik Monk. I believe Mitchell Robinson is he's actually a free agent, playing free agent this year. Yeah. So this offseason, it's not a lot of stuff. It's really little to no star power. It's just trying to figure out what guys make whatever you're getting at this free agency pool this year is probably going to be who are going to be the guys coming off your bench. Who's the guys you're going to sign to be your key reserves? In the end, that kind of matters, especially for teams who are a depleted bench away from potentially going to the finals. Big A, the Sixers.
Yeah. I feel like that's the last missing piece. We just need to get a nice, stable, consistent bench.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, by the way, just a quick gripe about Pluto TV. Pluto, how come every time when I turn on the Grassy channel, the episodes that are on, it's either Time Stand Stills Part 2 or Rock This Town? Why every single time I turn on my television, it's always those two episodes that are always on? Why do you want why do you want to give me that much trauma that I experienced at a young youth over and over again?
Why do you keep watching that channel?
Listen, sometimes you go on TV, realize there's something to watch. It's like, oh, let me watch what episode of Degrassi is on? Oh, sweet. It's the episode with Rick, and he has the gun. Oh, my freaking. All right. Turned on a few hours later. I'm like, cool. Maybe that's off right now. Don't rock this town. And JT gets stabbed. It's terrible. Should have been Toby.
Wow. You say that live on the air, huh?
Oh my God. Oh, who am I offending? The Toby fans? How many Toby fans do you actually know? Two, would anybody actually care if he actually died? Does the story impact anything at all if he passes?
No.
Because the funny thing is that when they show the ex-Degrassi guys, like, should they show Paige, Ellie, and Marco, going to college, Craig and actually doing their music stuff. They even have a few episodes of Emma, Liberty, and Manny, all going to college. Toby only appears in one episode after he graduates. Literally one. And that's the host of robotics tournament. After that, you never see him again.
That's wild.
So no, I will not take back my comment. I'm sorry. Sorry, Toby. The guy that played Toby.
Jake Bullseye.
Yeah, Jake Goldside. You are probably a terrific human being, but I did not care for your character. Should have been you. Oh, man. All right. So that was free agency. We had our call with Al. Warren gave us some good content. A little disappointed in you. I wanted a little bit more fight out of you.
What?
When Warren was calling. 98.5 WJYN Running Back Sports. Hello. All right. Yeah, I want a little more fight out of you because talking about Styles being his favorite wrestler. Then he was talking about Okada being better, Will Ospreay being better than Seth Rollins. I want a little more fight out of you, man.
Sometimes you just gotta let people be great.
No, you do not. What happened to you, man? What happened to you, man? I'm Mr. Old Jamal. Like Vince McMahon. I want the old Stone Cold Steve Austin.
You've been saying this for months.
Yeah. Yes, because it's true. You're going to let this man call in, disrespect Seth Rollins like that, and you think I'm just going to let that slide?
Yeah, because you did.
In this economy, on this airwave?
17 more minutes until snack time, y'all.
I'm disappointed in you, man. I really am. What happened to you, man? You used to be cool.
I did. And then I got old. And then life happened.
Nah. Man, I can't deal with this no more, man. I feel some type of way. I think I ended the show early, man. I'm just disappointed in you.
You know what? I think I'm done. I'm gonna take my water. I've been drinking water a lot, y'all, recently. Drinking water.
Yeah, because water's refreshing.
I've been going through a lot. But you gotta push through. You gotta push forward. No matter good, bad, right, wrong, whatever's going on. I just push forward, y'all.
Yeah. Yeah, man. When people disrespect Seth Rollins, just let it slide, apparently. Anyway, we're gonna end the show early today. So you kind of burned through all our topics. And, once again, shout out to everybody that's been tuning in. Shout out to our callers. Shout out to Warren for the good content. Shout out to all Northfleet telling a story. And wish you all the best.
Shout out to Big Al.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yep, definitely, man. And, good luck to your podcast. I'm definitely going to be downloading it as soon as I get home. Check out the content. Once again, you're listening. This is Chris Thomas,
Jamal Thomas.
and you're listening to the Running Back Sports Show, Sports for the Culture, every Tuesday,
Booyaka.
6 to 8 p.m. Eastern. Oh my God. I can't with you, man. On that note, we will see you next week. Next week.